Okay, I'm recording this video after close of trade Wednesday, 7th of July 2010, and there we go. We had a very strong rally up day today, closed up 35 points. I said that this cyclical low on the daily time frame was likely to lead to a little bit of a rally. As soon as we breached 1040, we kind of got confirmation that that kind of rally was underway. So yeah, there we go. That cyclical low on better sine wave kind of been put in. I'm expecting we'll continue to rally, stopping and starting as we go, kind of. But until this we get a cyclical turn now on the daily time frame. If I just back it down to a couple of different time frames, this is one time frame down, the 135-minute chart here. You can see we're kind of closing this gap around here. We're kind of coming up to this. It was a cyclical support level here, likely to turn into kind of some cyclical resistance. So and we did kind of turn a little bit parabolic towards the end of the day. It was such extreme kind of buying at the end of the day. So we might be finding a little bit of resistance kind of at the beginning of tomorrow. Kind of wait and see. And then just going down to the 81-minute chart. We've already had the cyclical cross on the 81-minute chart, so there'll be some cyclical resistance that's kind of coming up in the next day or so. So there we go. That was it was a nice call yesterday with kind of putting in saying we were putting in a bottom at this point. We needed to breach 1040 for confirmation of that, and that's what we got. But just show you the longest time frame tip bar chart, the 40,500 tip bar chart here. I want to talk about yesterday's activity in this particular selling off that we had at the end of the day. So this is my usual kind of chart setup, better momentum showing at the bottom of the chart here. And this shows kind of the buying and selling swings. And I was talking about at the end of last week, we'd had all this exhaustion selling at these points here. We'd made an end of trend warning signal, came back down a second cyclical turn after an end of trend warning signal here. We have all these bullish divergence points down here at these lows, signaling that there's less and less selling activity as we're making kind of new lows here. And then on yesterday's activity, we got this kind of strong selling into the close of the day, or late in the day, and you can see the amount of selling was pretty extreme. However, it was nowhere near as much as we had in terms of these exhaustion selling down bars in kind of previous week. And for me, what I see that's what I call a flush pattern. It's kind of flushing out the sellers at this point. If you can see, all the sellers have sold. We're going to get these exhaustion selling at this point here. We get all these divergence points kind of plotting around this 1010 type level, and then finally at this point here, the sellers kind of get on board and think, oh my God, kind of we're going to break 1010 or 1000, kind of go even lower, and we don't. And the amount of selling is less than we've had kind of the extreme selling previously. The amount of price damage that's done in terms of this move down is not. We don't kind of break to new lows, but this flushing out volume here is almost the last of the sellers have sold at this point. They're flushed out of the market, and that allows the rally to take place. And you can see that we kind of broke strongly above the cyclical resistance level, was actually at about the 1040 level, and we had an exhaustion buying signal here, and we kind of propelled on through that. Now this is kind of the exhaustion buying signal here is at the beginning of this uptrend. So this is saying this is everybody kind of getting on board, and all of a sudden saying this thing is going breaking into an uptrend. I need to get on board this, or I need to cover my shorts, or whatever it might be. So that's different from exhaustion selling at the end of a move. Exhaustion selling at the end of a trend move signals that all the sellers have sold. This is everybody kind of finally getting out, as this trend move has developed, and it had been going for quite a while. This is exhaustion buying, kind of climactic buying that's setting off a move to the upside, in my opinion at least. So I think we're going to have a little bit of rally, going to be stops and starts. As I said, we did kind of turn parabolic a little bit at the end of today, and we've had fairly extreme kind of buying at this point, so might have a little bit of a pullback or whatever, and we're going to form some kind of resistance, kind of shortly, maybe tomorrow, maybe later on tomorrow after the amateurs kind of jump on board tomorrow morning. Just want to show you on my Emini day trading chart. So this is the 4,500 tip bar chart. This was the setup that I traded first thing in the morning, and this is where resistance becomes to support. And you can see that we'd broken above a cyclical. So this is this vertical red dotted line is the beginning of the day trading session. The grey dotted line is the end of yesterday's day session. So this is the overnight. What happened here? Overnight, on this time frame, we formed a cyclical low here. A couple of Rambo patterns, reversal of an amateur break breakout. So these are the amateurs trying to sell these kind of new lows at this point here, and they get wrong-footed as soon as the highs of those bars are taken out. That's a signal to go long. So that's a reversal of an amateur breakout, and we kind of go forward. And then we got a little bit of a bullish divergence signal here on better momentum. We kind of rally forward. Now, obviously, that was a good point to get long. If you couldn't have got long during the after hours, then this is the trade that I took. So we broke above the cyclical resistance level. So just at the open, we were finding some resistance here. We broke above there. We came back down to test that cyclical resistance level, and resistance becomes support at that point, and then the market kind of takes off. Now, you'll often see this because that then augurs the beginning of a trend move. We kind of break into an uptrend, and there's the pullback, end of trend warning signal. This one move was so strong we hadn't got exhaustion buying yet. We didn't see exhaustion buying to the end of the day, and so the move just kind of continues on. But this was the trade that for me was a nice little entry point. And if I back it down to the 1500 tip bar chart, you can see here again this resistance that we saw at the beginning of the day was just broken past an end of trend warning signal here with quite a lot of buying at this point. But as we move down into these lows, you can see this amateur yellow down bar. These are amateurs kind of selling here, saying, oh well, actually, the high for days in, we're going to be moving down into a downtrend from now on. No, those amateurs kind of get wrong-footed. We find resistance here. We form a little pullback in an uptrend, kind of cyclical support level. We get our bullish divergence at this point here, and then the market kind of takes off. And then if I look down on the lowest time frame chart, you can really see what's going on here. So we'd formed this high here at about 10:29, 10:30. We had these bearish divergence signals here with these white dots here. We'd had quite a lot of buying at this point here and less buying. But then coming into these lows, it was almost like a head and shoulders reverse, kind of upside down inverted head and shoulders pattern here with these three cyclical turning points. You can see all our bullish divergence points here, and you can see these amateur down bars here. There's the first series coming into a bullish divergence signal here. The second one here with this perfect little Rambo pattern down into cyclical support. There's a no supply pattern there. We have another little push down here with an amateur bar here, and that's the break above that is the trade I took for 4 points. And then we come back for a final kind of cyclical entry point, and then kind of the market takes off. But this was kind of a classic, just looking at the highest time frame, that this is resistance becomes support. We bounce off this trend this cyclical support, resistance becomes support line, and then into an uptrend. And that was the best entry for the day. I only took it for 4 points, but I had to go to bed. So there we go. Hope your trading is going well. Just a little point, I've actually just upgraded to TradeStation 8.8. Did that yesterday. I didn't have any dramas on 8.8, and all my charts seem to be working fine. I hope you've, if you have traded up, moved up to 8.8, that you're kind of working out okay. I did got a couple of emails. People have found 8.7 very buggy. I found 8.7 buggy, and I rolled back down to 8.6, and just been waiting on my hands just to see if 8.8 was stable. Got a message from Dennis. He'd had some problems, but it was about re-verifying. He needed to re-verify all of his indicators in order to get everything working. So make sure as you're upgrading to 8.8 that there's a verify all kind of cycle that TradeStation goes through, where it kind of cycles through all your indicators and studies and so on, and just re-verifies those. If it doesn't, if you don't see it go through that cycle, you're going to have to re-verify manually, and I'll put up the instructions that Dennis got from TradeStation in order to do that if you are having trouble on 8.8. So there we go. Hope your trading's going well.